Welcome back to Fly With Me with Eddy Pérez. We are exploring the unwritten rules of life and how the demands we face can lead us to achieve excellences. Eddy,
A different perspective as a pilot now to understand everything that the bigger aircraft is doing. And I kind of simulated me flying the plane, and I was right dead on the numbers and starting the descent and all of that. I was calculating everything on my phone, so it was really interesting.
for how long you been now by yourself? Like
Couple of years.
a couple of years?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Couple of
Couple
years.
flying a couple of years by
Yeah.
myself, probably about a year. Yeah.
I want you to share everyone that this was a dream that you used to have like a long time ago
Yeah.
and you decided not to do it. Tell everyone why and why are you doing it now?
Yeah, thank you. Well, learning to fly started since I was a little boy that I can remember. I was wanted to fly. When I was younger, probably age 28,
Okay.
29, I thought, okay, I want to do it. I was on with school, and then I could learn to fly at that time. I remember taking one, what we call discovery flight, and then I really liked it. Then I decided, okay, now I'm going to do this. I definitely want to do this at age 28. But my wife announced that we were pregnant. And so that kind of put everything on hold for a while. And so I got busy being a dad,
A dad.
and raising a family. And so I put that dream on hold for a little bit. But now my kids are now gone, and they have their own lives, and I'm empty nested. And I decided, well, I think I can still do it. I'm young enough still to do it. And so I took it on as a lifelong challenge 2 years ago. And,
Wow.
yeah.
You know that many people has talked to me about that. Oh my goodness, I love the show about Fly With Me because my husband in one case is starting to fly. I know another person, a friend of mine that also is flying. It's a dream when you were like little. Most of the kids wants to be a
Pilot, firefighter.
a firefighter, a policeman, or even to fly, right?
Yes.
And now you did it. Now you did it. But everything was because you decided, you took good decisions with discipline. I really want to take this episode talking about the discipline you need to have in other things in your life,
Sure, absolutely.
like in your work, how you did the things correctly that took you to this moment that you are enjoying now.
Yeah. Discipline is one of those things that it's hardly understood, because it's difficult to do.
Yes, it is.
And discipline really relates to everything, from the way we eat to the way we do sports to the way we conduct our lives
Yes.
to the way we work to the way we learn to fly.
Yes.
It's discipline just means that you have to understand that there are parameters that you stay within. You have to stay within. And yeah, there are moments where you're going to get off the rails. Absolutely, it happens to all of it. It happened to me many times. But you get back to focus.
Yes.
And discipline is just how you get to where you need to go. It's consistency, and discipline is just you can't deviate too much from where you're going.
That's right.
that works for everything. It's
For
like,
everything.
yeah, not just fine.
I knew a person like a couple of years ago. She is Korean, and I think like they are very disciplined culture.
Yeah.
They know what they want to reach, how to reach it, and they go for it. Even American people, they are very disciplined,
Disciplined, yeah,
and that's something that I learned when I came here. Because I don't want to generalize this comment, but most Mexicans, we need to learn more about discipline,
Discipline, yeah.
right? But here in the United States, I've been learning about consistency, perseverance, and discipline. And that's why there are a lot of success, stories of success here in
Yeah.
the States.
Our cultures, I think, the Latino culture, Mexican culture, Guatemalan culture, all South American culture, Central American culture, we're more relaxed.
Yes.
We're more laid back. We're warmer. But that comes with a price, and that's that we sometimes lack discipline, which other cultures do have. And so it's a matter of balancing both, right? You have to.
Yes.
We enjoy our culture. Don't get me
Oh
wrong.
my goodness,
Absolutely.
I love to being a Mexican. I love my people. I love everything. But here I have learned so much about discipline.
Discipline,
And to continue in the track, to never give up, and to know how to do the things and
Well,
go for them.
especially in this country, in this land, it is possible.
Yes.
You can do it.
Yeah, Hugo
It's
just said that,
absolutely possible.
Yeah. If you want to do it, just do it. You can do it.
You just you follow discipline, you follow order, you follow rule, and you work really hard at it. And it can be done. Anything really in this beautiful land you can accomplish. Absolutely.
Totally. We bring some points about discipline. If you want to share with us, Eddie, if you want to share with us some of the points about discipline, what it means, the discipline for you, how you have done it in your work, and is there something that make you...
I have a story to tell you.
Yes.
Since I was like 13 years old. We'll do it in the next segment. But
Yes.
It's going to shock you, the kind of discipline that I followed and these dreams and ideas I had at age, I don't know, 12, 13, maybe even younger if I remember.
But you were just a teenager.
I was, but I had visualized my life
Wow.
at that age, and it's come to pass. It's were there obstacles and deviations and hurdles? Absolutely.
Wow, now we have a hook to keep you watching after the commercials. To Eddie, Fly With Me, KHTS FM 98.1 AM 1220 and hometownstation.com. And we are back here with Eddy Pérez in KHTS and Fly With Me. And we have something that we really want to know about you. This hook tell us everything about this story, please.
So true story. I don't know exactly how old I was. I'm going to guess because I didn't put a date on this piece of paper. But I wrote it when I was in Guatemala, and so that puts me at age 12, maybe 13.
Because after that you came here.
I came here, and I brought this document with me eventually. In this document, I wrote like what I wanted out of my life. 1, own my own business. 2,
Checklist.
play a sport. 3, learn a different language.
Checklist.
Somewhere, not necessarily in this order, but it was on there. Learn to fly. I had things written down at age 12, 13. Where I got that, I have no idea. I really don't know. But I found on my trips back to Guatemala many, many years later.
Okay, you left in Guatemala.
Yeah, I left it with Grandma. And she presented me with a box. I had some old photos and things like that. And I found this piece of paper, almost like a timetable, something I wrote many, many years ago, including a little green El Camino car that I had put in that little box.
But what was El Camino?
El Camino is a little car. It's a Ford car that was developed in the 70s. And I guess it was one of my favorite toys then. So I put that, and I put this paper that had some things I wanted to do in my life. And so where this is going is I think you have to get an idea or teach kids from an early age, even though they're not going to necessarily end up doing what it is that they wrote, but to have some sort of discipline, order, an idea, some sort of a focus point so that they can aim to.
Yes.
And that has to start at a very, very early age. It did for me. I have no idea where I got this, to be honest with you. I don't remember if anybody said, "Hey, what would you like to do when you're older?" I don't remember. Dad had passed away, and so I don't remember. I just found this piece of paper that had some things that I wrote down when I was 12 years old.
That's a kind of therapy that nowadays is used to visualize yourself, what you want to achieve, what you want to do, and then making a board. Have you heard about
board, yeah.
Vision
the vision
board.
boards? And you put like some images that you find in internet, whatever, and you look at yourself like doing those things. And you did it when you were like more or less like 12?
Yeah. I mean, it didn't have all the things I've done, but it had some things. So
Wow.
that tells me that at some point in my life, I thought about this.
Yes.
Flying, for example. I thought about it. I wanted to do that. And so it was an interesting finding for me because it brought me back. I don't remember the exact moment when I wrote this or the moment when I wrote this. I'm assuming I added to this list from time to time because I can see on my handwriting. But it was a shocking moment in a good way when I found this. Grandma handed me this document and some photos, and it was really, really interesting because he taught me a lot about me.
Great. And tell me something. If you go to the Eddy when he was small, when he was a kid, like 8, 7, your parents used to give you like you can do whatever you want. How was the education that you received from them? Because in so many places, they're so limited, right? They don't push you to give the best of yourself, to give the world and feel like that energy that you can do whatever you want. How was your education?
So being raised in Guatemala, we didn't have this do whatever you want life. We had a structured, strict upbringing, meaning that, that we had every Saturday morning, for example, that I remember, Grandma would wake us up or Mom, and we had to do our chores before we even thought about going out to play. And in those days, we didn't have Nintendo or PlayStation and any of this stuff, so we played outside.
Yes.
Football or soccer in this case, or fly a kite, whatever we were doing. We had to finish our chores, clean the balconies of the house, or sweep and mop, or we had to do something, and that was the rule. No exception to that rule. When we were done with our chores, and we were allowed then to go outside play on a Saturday. And so we had a strict upbringing where it wasn't just do whatever you want. And we grew up poor, single. My mom was a single mom because Dad had passed away, so we didn't have a lot of resources. So it wasn't all like all this hoopla about you can do this, you can do that. It was just a normal household with limitations, but definitely a strict household with rules that had to be followed, basic rules. And so that's how I grew up. And that's
because I think nowadays, sometimes parents don't want to make so many rules, so they don't limit their kids of what they want. But I think it's so essential to give them rules, to make them chores, to discipline, because that's the way the discipline will make them achieve their goals, right?
I think pushing the kids, too hard is a mistake. But certainly you have to set some, think of bumpers on either side, as long as they don't fall off, get off those bumpers. You let them be creative and find it is what they like, what they like. So I don't necessarily believe they have to push them to the point where, to exhaustion, but you do have to push, because they're still trying to find where it is that they're going. For me, I remember that I had, as I said, definitely a lot of discipline and rules, and we had to focus on things. School was first. If we did well in school, then that gave us some rewards and other things for us to do. If we weren't doing well there, then we weren't even allowed to watch a TV
because
show.
you need to be responsible with the things that you for your age you need to do, right? They said nowadays they call them boundaries, right? And boundaries, because I was studying in my mind and everything for so long, like being as a mom, that boundaries are like a bridge, and the way you cross the bridge are with the
Handles.
with the hand, with the two pieces that you are holding with the reels, right? So that helps you to take you to the other side, and we will prevent you to fall from one side and to the other one. And life has boundaries and rules, and we really need to teach our kids to follow them, right?
I mean, this is very different cultures, of course. I agree with you on that. In my culture, or where I came from, my mom, this is going to sound kind of strange, but it is a fact. Mom and grandma were not necessarily my friends.
No,
they were my parents.
They were their parents.
I had friends, but mom and dad, when my dad was still alive, but mom and grandma, which raised me pretty much, they were parents. And so they set the rules, they set the pace, they set the boundaries, and then they set, the way. And I respected that. Now, that didn't mean they were not my friends. I couldn't go to them and talk to them. I could. But they weren't, like here in America, it's a different culture. We try to be our kids' friends. And we just want to go along with what they want to go along. And then sometimes we forget to parent.
Yes.
And then we become more friends than parents. I personally believe that sometimes that can lead to errors, because then kids they're still trying to figure their way, and then we kind of have to show them the way.
Yes, we are the ones who show them the way. One day I told my kids, I wish I was your grandmother, because I really want to just play with you, not to set rules and to education,
As a grandparent, I can tell you that to become, and I'm a grandfather, to become a grandfather, you have to put in your time as a parent. You have to graduate to being a grandparent.
Wow.
So it's a completely different feeling. It's a completely different love. When I became a parent, a dad, it was a feeling, a love I had never experienced before. And then as a grandparent, it's yet another feeling that I had never even knew existed. But you kind of have to put in your time as a parent to enjoy being a grandparent.
That's
you cannot
amazing.
skip one step.
Yes, for sure you can skip.
Yeah.
And well, to finish about discipline, please encourage all the people who are watching us and who are hearing us to have discipline in their lives.
Absolutely. Set goals for sure, and go head on. Don't worry about it. You're gonna fall off, get off the rails, you're going to fall off the wagon. That's okay. But discipline, you get back on it and continue. You try again and again and again and again. That's what discipline is about. And this is for all aspects of your life: food, sport, whatever it is that you're doing, learning a language. I remember that for me, learning English, I had a show that I watched every morning or on weekends. And I would watch it over and over and over again until I memorized everything that they were saying, and that's how I learned. It's all discipline. Discipline is repetition.
That's how kids learn.
Yeah.
Repetition, and keep on trying, and kids fall and stand up again. Let's continue being kids also, with discipline and being responsible about our actions, and go and set a goal. This was Fly With Me with Eddy Pérez. Thank you so much.
Thank
It
you.
was amazing.
Thank you.
Every time to speak with you, it's amazing. Thank you for this, and see you the next Saturday. This is KHTS Fly With Me 98.1.
You already know Salt Creek Grill has the best food in our valley. But did you